Today, we dive deep into the enchanting world of a creature often underestimated, the capybara. These gentle giants of South America aren't just rodents. They're the true kings of wetlands and tight-knit families, living lives full of mystery and incredible tales. Get ready to discover everything you never knew about the largest and most fascinating water hog on the planet. This is a story you won't be able to look away from. Today, we're going to talk about the capybara. What do we really know about it? First off, its name is pretty intriguing. Some might remember Capitoshka from childhood stories, but this is a whole capybara. Some have heard it's a rodent, but at first glance, it's hard to believe. It's not a mouse, not a hamster, and definitely not a rat. It looks more like a giant furry pig, though that's a stretch. Where does such a mysterious creature live? You won't find one in your local pond. And what does it eat? That's important to know. You wouldn't want to meet one and lose your shoes. Today, we'll cover all that and much more, mostly about the capybara itself. Let's get started. First, the name. Why does it have such an interesting name? It turns out that if you knew the old forgotten Brazilian language Tupi, you'd immediately understand it means one who eats grass. Scientifically, it's called hydrochaeus, which translates to water pig or water hog, depending on how you prefer it. Wait a minute, does that mean it's related to our beloved pet guinea pigs? Exactly. They're close relatives. There are also more distant relatives called agoutis, but the capybara is much bigger. In fact, the capybara is currently the largest rodent in the world, reaching weights up to 60 kilograms, about 130 pounds. But more than 3 million years ago, the largest rodent ever lived, Josepho Artegesia monesi, weighed around a ton. These ancient rodents lived in estuaries and deltas covered with forests in what is now Uruguay. Fossils show large front teeth that scientists believe were used like tools, much like how elephants use their tusks. These incisors were useful for defending against predators and digging for food. Since their molars were small, it's thought they ate soft vegetation. Though their teeth weren't suited for chewing tough food, their bite was powerful, 3 times stronger than a tiger's. This giant rodent was a distant relative of the capybara and the pacarana. But the pacarana is a story for another time. It belongs to a separate family. So back to the capybara. Actually, the capybara doesn't have many close relatives. They belong to a family that includes guinea pigs, wild guinea pigs, mountain guinea pigs known as mocos or quis, and 2 genera of maras. Within the genus Hydrochaeus, there are only 2 species, the common capybara and the lesser capybara. The lesser capybara was only recently discovered and classified in the last century. Capybaras live throughout South America, wherever there's a body of water, a pond, lake, river, or swamp. That's why they avoid Chile, because besides mountains, Chile has little water habitat suitable for them. Let Chile be the home of chinchillas, llamas, and pumas. Now, let's take a closer look at the capybara. They look quite fluffy, with bodies covered in long, coarse hairs, but they have no undercoat. Their color varies from reddish-brown to grayish. The underside is usually a yellowish-brown. Younger capybaras are lighter in color. They have heavy, barrel-shaped bodies and short heads. Their sweat glands can be found on the surface of their hairy skin, an unusual feature among rodents, as is the absence of a soft undercoat. Adult capybaras grow up to 130 centimeters, about 4 feet in length, stand about 60 centimeters tall at the shoulder, and typically weigh up to 60 kilograms. Females tend to be slightly heavier than males. The heaviest recorded wild female weighed 91 kilograms, though that's an exception. Maybe someone really liked feeding her. Their hind legs are slightly longer than the front legs. They have 3 toes on their back feet and 4 on the front, with small webbing between them, which helps them swim. Capybaras love water. They adore swimming and diving. Because of this, their nostrils, eyes, and ears sit almost on top of their heads, allowing them to relax fully in the water. They're excellent swimmers and can hold their breath underwater for up to 5 minutes. They use this skill to escape predators. If needed, capybaras can even sleep in the water, poking just their noses out. During hot days, they chill in the water and graze closer to evening. They also wallow in mud, not just for fun, but to keep pesky insects away. After resting until midnight, they continue grazing until dawn. If they get bored, they dive or run around on land. Some might say it's a repetitive day, but for capybaras, it's their perfect day. Our piggy also has a tiny, rudimentary tail. Unlike kangaroos, the capybara's tail is useless. It's just there. What matters most is food. Speaking of which, capybaras have 20 teeth. Their teeth have no roots and keep growing. They're rodents after all, so they need to keep grinding them down. They use their teeth exclusively for eating plants. Interestingly, capybaras are picky eaters. They eat certain types of grass at specific times. They're true gourmets. When they chew, they move their jaws not side to side like goats and most ruminants, but up and down. One thing capybaras got unlucky with is their digestive system. Not only can they not synthesize vitamin C, making them prone to gum diseases, but they're also coprophagic. That means they eat their own feces as a source of beneficial gut bacteria to help digest the cellulose in grass and extract maximum protein and vitamins from their food. It's a natural cycle of grass in the wild. These giant vegetarian rodents are highly social and live in family groups of 10 to 20 individuals. Only about 10% of capybaras, mostly males, live alone. During dry seasons, they sometimes gather in groups of up to 100. Each group is led by a dominant male. Then come several adult females, his wives. They're young and subordinate males.
Yes, subordinate.
If the dominant male senses a challenger marking his territory, he drives the intruder out to prevent rivalry. That lone male becomes one of the 10% of solitary capybaras. He then must find his own capybara princess. If successful, they reproduce, and they prefer to do it in the water. They mate year-round. Pregnancy lasts about 150 days. A female gives birth to 2 to 8 pups, born with fur, open eyes, and already erupted teeth. Baby capybaras weigh about 1.5 kilograms at birth. In the group, all females care for the newborns. It doesn't matter whose babies they are. Any mother will happily nurse a stranger's pup within the herd. Capybaras reach sexual maturity at 15 to 18 months, weighing 30 to 40 kilograms. They typically live up to 10 years, which is quite long for rodents. But their lives often end sooner, thanks to jaguars, pumas, ocelots, eagles, and caimans. And anacondas occasionally feast on capybaras too. That's another chapter in the food chain. Humans have also influenced this chain, or more precisely, South American mouths. Capybara meat isn't a delicacy, but a common food source in parts of South America. They're raised for meat and hides. While in some urban areas, the meat is considered unsuitable to eat, in others it's an important protein source. In some parts of South America, especially Venezuela, capybara meat is popular during the Catholic Lent and Holy Week, since the church once gave special permission to eat capybara during this time. If it swims a lot, it must be fish, or if not fish, definitely not meat. And its hide? Well, it's turned into warm coats. Those coats mostly come from Venezuela. That's how they live. Urban Venezuelans say only rural folks eat capybaras. But villagers don't mind, and often welcome guests during holidays. No matter how many are eaten, capybaras breed well and don't hold grudges against wild predators or humans, keeping their population steady. The water hog is a very sweet and amusing animal. They're calm, friendly, eager to interact with people, and love affection. They're also clean and get along well with other animals, including pets. Many keep capybaras alongside cats and dogs. In Uruguay, for example, the capybara is even featured on the 2-peso coin. Small change, but a nice honor. Not many rodents appear on currency, and in August 2021, Argentine and international media reported that capybaras were causing serious problems for residents of Nord Delta, a wealthy gated community north of Buenos Aires built on swampy land. This sparked a joke among activists, dubbing the capybara a symbol of class struggle. Jokes aside, dear friends, this is a serious matter for humanity. And now, we've learned about the largest rodent on the planet, a peaceful and fascinating endemic of South America.